right. It's love in black and white. We put the love back in you, right? It's love in black and white. We put the love back in you, right? It's love in black and white. We put the love back in you, right? It's love in black and white.
Hey,
Everybody.
what's up, everybody? Welcome to Hollingsworthless. No, what am I talking about? Wait, you're coming through. You're not even coming through my headphones. What is happening? Everything is breaking down.
Is that me?
I think it's on my end. It's not you.
Hold on. I think I gotta turn on the lights.
Turn on the lights. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Love in Black and White, where each week we try and put the love back in you, right? I'm one of your hosts, Big Irish Jay Hollingsworth, and as usual, we have the usual suspects. Dude, I'm mixing everything up because I'm all fucked up. I don't. You know what? Fuck it. You can still hear me, right?
Yep, you're good. You're golden.
I don't know why it's my audio's coming through there, not my headset, like it usually does. Anyways, I'm one of your hosts, Big Irish Jay Hollingsworth, and we have the Coco co-host, the Black Don Juan, the Big Daddy Cain and Abel, Manulus Rojas Martin Jr.
Oh man, I am you know what? Shout out to Sanders. I was supposed to give Sanders a call and I didn't, but Crystal's pumping, so guess who's on daddy duty? That's right. Oh my gosh. I like that. I like that hoodie.
What's up?
Bring
like
bring
that?
your baby on, and then hold on. Let me turn on this light real quick
Come here, Rinks.
because I'm like blending into the background.
Wrinkles, come. I'll get Wrinkles over here. Here we go. Come here, you little. All right, he doesn't want it now. He's like trying to be stubborn. All right, well, okay. Let's give a shout out to everybody that's in here. Sorry, guys. It's this is my fault that it's being all weird. I don't know what's going on. My headset is coming through
All right, hold
weird. We got Leah, Andrea, Sandy J. We've missed you, Sandy J. Sanders Robinson. There we go. We're all caught up. Wrinkles, come here, Rinks. Come here, buddy. Come on. And we have a teaser from last week. Hold on.
Yes. I just want to say that this if this episode is unorganized, it's mostly my fault.
No. Don't say
He
that.
has his baby too.
Oh, Wrinkles. Oh, buddy. Oh.
I know. Hi, Auntie Sandy.
Where did I put my phone now?
Auntie
All right.
Andrea. Auntie Leah.
Look at everybody. Look at Miles. Nice.
I know.
And but Manny, we're matching again, sort of. I got a little
look at
red
us.
in mine.
We look great.
Okay, our teaser from last week was myth or fact, are church kids usually the biggest freaks? So I have a hilarious Wrinkles. Oh, buddy.
Wrinkles. Miles.
He's gonna fall asleep like that.
I know. My baby's being all loud and shit.
If somebody's just listening to this, they're like, we get it. Get on with the
no.
fucking show. PKs, preacher kids.
Yes.
I say, and I got some funny stories. I would say yes, that church kids are some of the biggest freaks.
I think, yeah. Oh, I'll let you finish first. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I'll tell my story in a sec.
Yeah, I agree 100% because I think that there's this bit of repression of like, oh, you're not supposed to do this. Don't look at the, you should never feel this way or do this. I've seen where certain churches, they don't, I guess they don't support how you're supposed to. Yeah, pastors' kids are probably the worst of the worst. I mean, those are the ones who usually go to jail. But I would definitely say I think that church kids, just from repression and everything else, they're usually the biggest, like, I don't know if sexual deviant is the word, but I think about it, like all my Mormon friends, they were like, oh yeah, we can have sex. It has to be butt sex. I'm like, what?
Yeah. So I won't out the person's name, but I have a friend that was or is a PK, and this person, I think I've told you this story before, Manny. You might know this story and know
Possibly.
who it is, but this person, as a PK, actually hooked up with somebody in the church, and, they were downstairs. What up,
Mhm.
Scuba Jess? And they were
Scuba Jess.
downstairs in the church, and then somebody was looking for them. They had just got done, and so they were saying their name. We'll just say their name is Bob.
Okay.
That's not
All
their
right.
name, but so somebody was upstairs, like going, Bob, Bob, and my buddy said he thought it was God talking to him.
Oh, so good. There was oh God, what was the one that oh man. Oh, we have I'm just gonna out this person. I don't give a shit because everybody knows he's a hoe. Jeff Dye, he was a churchgoer. He was a church kid, and now he gets laid like every weekend. You know what I mean? Like whenever you see Jeff, it was like, hey, which girls are hanging out with him this weekend?
Dude,
So
he was dating Playboy Playmate Model of
yeah,
the Year.
exactly. And so
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, ain't no shame in his game.
Good
So
dude,
great
Jeff
dude,
Dye.
great dude. Yeah.
So I think, but yeah, I would say, yeah, I'm trying to think of other,
But also, I mean, you hear about all kind of scandals, right? Of like a pastor having, affairs with like the congregation or, giving horrible advice. There was just a preacher that said, like, and this is beyond me. I just read it said, like, he was like, it's okay to rape your wife. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, hopefully they kicked him out of the congregation, but it's just, it's insane, man. And so,
dude, there's also, I dated a girl that she used to sing with Fred Hammond,
oh,
gospel singer, and
yep, yep.
and she was heavily involved in the church, and she was kind of freaky.
I can only give I can only give BJ's J. I only give handies. Man,
all right,
yeah, no.
so
I do think that I'm not saying that you got to go out and just like sleep with everybody, but I think that there is a thing of like, you know what, like you gotta like sexuality is okay. It's not a thing to be ashamed of. You know what I mean?
Sandy,
Yeah.
it's hard for me to highlight because I got Rinks here. Jay ruined her. How dare you, Sandy? I mean, you're probably not wrong, but how dare you? Oh my gosh, Gabriel, Michael,
Yeah.
Gabe Botten, give Rinks a big kiss on the mouth for me. And Gabe, do you see Miles over there?
I know.
Look at
Ooh,
Miles,
we both got
baby
babies today.
Manulus.
We're both on daycare duty. Daddy daycare status.
Andrea said knew a PK that was caught by her parents making out with her man on her parents' living room couch. Clearly, she had no shame.
Yeah,
Jay,
I mean,
just making out.
making out is nothing.
What
But
up,
I mean,
Divine
like, if
Equinox?
you're like, yeah, if you're banging on, that's something crazy.
Banging on Christ, son.
Right? Let's see. Leah said, what did Leah say? Click on that. It says, I was a churchgoer. I was even baptized for the dead.
For the dead? What?
Oh man.
Day of the Dead? Is that it?
For Day of the Dead. Okay.
Okay. Next one up. Ass naked. Oh, dang. All right, Rinks, what do you say?
Oh, wow, there you go. Okay, that's different. That gives a little more context to the making out on the couch.
Should grandparents still have sex? What age should you retire your genitals?
Oh man,
that's a.
Is there ever a time? I mean,
I think it varies. Like, I maybe on the person. Like, I mean, was Hugh Hefner banging the playmates or it was just all for appearance?
I feel like he had to because he had 3 girlfriends. But then again, I think that those girls, I mean, is it about getting money or you know what I mean? Is it about the fame? Yeah, as long as they still work. I mean, yeah, I guess so. But yeah, I think that as far as Hugh Hefner goes, I think he had to still be getting down. But I also think that your sex drive really depletes as you get older. Was he really trying to like bang, or did he just want to have like a relationship with somebody?
Yeah, I'm like, I mean, I definitely noticed it being 50.
Yeah. I even noticed it like 38, man, where it's just like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, you got to like work up the energy to fuck now. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Sorry,
but I had a joke. I said my balls get hard now. The other day I said getting old is like having whiskey dick without the need for whiskey.
Oh God.
The babies are
You
sleeping.
know, like, oh, wake up, Miles, wake up.
Oh, look at him.
I know, Uncle Jay. Here are profanities. You can only hear it through my ears.
Yeah.
What you call it? I was gonna say though, I think that I mean, as long as I mean, you want a healthy relationship. I think that let's say you were divorced for quite some time, and then you're in a retirement community, and I guarantee you those retirement communities are freakier than we think.
They there's a high thing of STDs.
That's what I. That's right. That's what I heard. So, man,
Sexually transmitted death.
stupid. Gertrude, come on over here.
Yeah, that's about the whole God thing started. Like, oh God, I'm about to come and go.
Man, yeah, I think that there's probably never a good time to retire. Yeah, I think old people are freaky. I guess sexual assault is like big in the like what is it? The retirement homes that they're all inside of, where it's like dementia and Alzheimer's and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean that shit's like scary and sad. But yeah, no, I think that I think your sex drive is always there, probably to a lesser degree though, I would say, because your testosterone levels are probably dropping, estrogen levels are dropping. So from a scientific standpoint, yeah.
I would say it's all like should they be required to stop? No. Go until you can't go no more.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't want to know that my grandparents, if they were still alive, were still.
Well, so I was, I lived with my grandparents so much growing up, and thank God, I never heard them fucking. Oh, you like that, Rosemary? God, I'd fucking be scarred. But they also, which I actually think this is a good idea. They actually slept in separate beds, like a lot. Like my grandfather would sleep downstairs, and my grandmother would be upstairs. And which I think is great for getting a good night's sleep. Oh, wrinkles, you're just all over the place.
I think Sandy's also right. Let's see. Also, unfortunately, old people are the targets of for perverts. I mean, I've heard of like people flashing old people. You know what I mean? And so I was like, why? Why would you do that? And
I've seen some videos where, well, never mind. God, wrinkles, get out of
oh man,
right, I had to put rings down. Sorry.
No,
I got just his hairs all over me. Okay, what's our next one, Manulus?
All right. What are your thoughts on Pete Davidson now being a heartthrob? I mean, you knew Pete before he was really famous.
Good for him.
Yeah, man. So let's go through the list here. We have Kate Beckinsale. We have now Kim Kardashian, and then there was somebody else before that, or before Kim, right?
Yeah. Hold on, I'm going to change one thing real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
That and then. Okay, say something.
Check.
Yeah, fuck it. All right, I'm just gonna have to go like this.
And it might be mine. Hold on, let me just see something.
No, I don't think so. He's got Ariana Grande.
Oh, that's right.
Kim K. Who else did you say?
Then Kate Beckinsale, who was the one in the was it Underworld? She's gorgeous. So
she's gone through a few comics. She dated Matt Rife too.
Wow. And I'd like to know, like, ladies, is personality, I mean, like, okay, to all the ladies in the comments, what do we think about like the look of Pete Davidson versus the personality? Like,
did you see what this is when he was dating Ariana, did you hear what Barstool Sports said about him?
No, what did they say?
That he had butthole eyes. Like his eyes are like so dark, like they look like buttholes. And then she tried to come to his defense, and he was kind of like, no, it's cool, it's fine.
Yeah, totally. It's like when you're a comic, you just deal with shit.
Yeah. So any of the ladies in the chat, do they think he's cute, or are they like, oh, I get it, he has a look to him that he's not my flavor, but I could see how, the personality thing, I mean, Pete's pretty chill. He's
yeah. Pizza basic looking. Oh, Stephen Ward. Happy Thanksgiving Eve. Man, that used to be my favorite, like, not to detract from the show, but that used to be one of my favorite weekends to work, was like the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, because it'd always be like everybody's home and you get to perform, and we all just have fun. But now we're all old, man, and it doesn't fucking matter. But yeah, so I'm with the ladies. I guess he's pretty basic looking. I mean, I think he looks kind of goofy, but nice guy. So
And Sandy said, "I'm sorry, to me, he is not attractive at all, but he's very funny, and funny wins."
wow, yeah, it's a good point.
Yes.
So there is a chance.
Yes.
So stupid.
Yeah, he's I mean, and he's very chill, funny off stage too and stuff. So, I mean, I feel like Pete probably he snipes the pussy. I mean, like, unassuming, like, he just
yeah.
that thing where you're like, oh, you're silly, you're so crazy, Pete, and the next thing you know, your panties are coming off.
Yeah, no, I wonder, is that I think that there's also that celebrity factor, right? It's like, I think a celebrity comedian probably has more appeal and it's less threatening. I wonder if, like, you're a supermodel, if it's less threatening to have kind of an ugly guy. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to worry about dating the supermodel guy, who could possibly cheat on you. Like, but then again, comics are dirtbags, so probably. You know what I mean?
So here's a good question, because you brought up holidays, or Stefan did, and what is the best holiday to introduce a new girlfriend or boyfriend to the family?
Best holiday. I don't want to say Thanksgiving because that lets people know it's serious. Well, okay, it depends. If it's serious, Thanksgiving is the one, right? Thanksgiving or Christmas. I would say if you just want
this is their first meeting of them, so it could be early in the relationship. It could be maybe they haven't seen him forever. Like, in the ideal situation,
okay.
what would you say for you? And then I'll say for me, what would be the best way to meet them, the best holiday?
Yeah. So Martin Luther King Day. Would be, no, I'm just kidding.
Kwanzaa for me.
Yeah. I would say either I'm with Sandy, 4th of July or 4th of July or New Year's would be a good first meeting kind of thing, because they're both kind of party atmospheres. I don't think that there's too much on it. I feel like if it's really serious, I would say Thanksgiving and also Christmas are the big ones. It's like, if you're trying to really be like, oh, this is my person, those are the ones you're bringing them to. So.
Sandy has a good 4th of July, might be a good one.
Yeah.
It's like that barbecue, maybe Juneteenth. I celebrate Juneteenth.
Columbus Day.
No. Also, maybe depending on what your family's like, and if they party with this, like St. Patty's Day might be.
That would be a really good one. Yeah.
I mean, my dad doesn't go out and fucking put him back now on St. Patty's Day, but back in the day, that would be fun. Like, everybody's dressed up in green or whatever, and like just maybe you're doing like a pub crawl or going to a parade to watch the parade and having some beers, and it's very. So I think it's got to be something that's very informal, not like Christmas or Thanksgiving, where it's very like, oh, this is like, we're probably going to say some prayers before our evening, and
I love it. It reminds me of one of our old episodes where it was like, oh yeah, I'm a Wiccan, so I don't do all that little shit. But yeah, I would say, that's the St. Patty's Day would probably be the best day, because it's like, I think about your dad. Alcohol don't care what I wear. You know what I mean? So you bring out whoever.
Yeah.
So that would be
Cinco de Mayo, maybe.
Cinco de Mayo is another good one. So
4th of July Sandy might have called it.
Yeah, 4th of July is the one.
Because like the other thing with like St. Patty's Day, it also might be where people get too drunk, whether it's her or him or your family or whatever, and you're not. But 4th of July is very chill. Got food, and and you can talk, get to know everybody. What up, Swing Whizzle?
Yeah, I would definitely say that is probably, and then for the more serious is like, Thanksgiving, because if you bring them to Thanksgiving and it's a family affair, your family, how like a grandma could be like, don't bring that hoe over here, you know what I mean? They'd be like shitting on him if it's not the one. And so
like, yeah. Or you're bringing Crystal to your family, like, Did she bring the potato salad? 'Cause I don't-
Yeah, guys,
What's
it has
in it?
raisins. It has raisins and corn nuts.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
I don't know who Swing Whistle is. First time in here, and already they're like, "What up, y'all? I want to be a guest." Jeez.
Oh shit. Yeah, Swing. If you got some interesting relationship stories, we might have you up on here. So just let us know.
I don't know if
So,
Swing's a guy or a girl. I'm assuming it's a guy.
yeah,
It's for Sandy. Thanksgiving or Christmas is for announcing engagements and
yeah.
all right, give me this ball, Wrinkles. Get the fuck out of here.
I'm just kidding.
He's got his ball now. He's going crazy. Good call, Sandy. I give it to Sandy on the
Yeah.
4th of July.
4th of July is the good one because I mean you could bring anybody to that. So.
Yeah. Can you hear this dog fucking beeping this ball?
Nope, but you hear my baby.
I just heard.
He said, "I'm sick of this shit." Where's mom?
What do you just go like this? I can't handle it. You just- it's a prank. You just bring a doll that we're like, what?
Like, fuck
All
this.
right. Should grandparents still have sex? We answer that. And Pete Davidson, we got that. The gist of that is, hey, personality and funny can basically get you pretty far.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I think that personality, funny can get you really far, but also I think that there is I think that some celebrity women probably appreciate a guy who's kind of ugly. You know what I mean? So,
Oh yeah. Well, dude,
on.
who was it?
All right, hold on.
Yeah,
Say
yeah,
bye
yeah.
to Miles.
Okay, bye, Miles, and I'll carry it. I'll have to repeat it when Manny gets back. But think about Julia Roberts dated what's his name, Lyle Lovett, or what was the guy's name? I think he was a singer, and then what's her name dated Billy Bob Thornton, the one chick that was also married to Brad Pitt. I mean, that's all over the spectrum. So I was just saying. Oh wait, let us get his earplugs back in. Manny, I was saying the thing about not attractive. Julia Roberts, didn't she date Lyle Lovett?
I think so. Yeah. Julia
And
Roberts.
then what's her name? That was married to Brad Pitt, also dated fucking Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh, are you talking about Angelina Jolie?
Yes.
Yeah.
So those are some pretty hot to trot women dating maybe not the most attractive.
You know what's so funny? So I can hear Rinks in the background, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like somebody's just fucking because it was like squeak, 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 squeak.
Yeah.
All right, now I got the lights up. Now we can have a fucking episode. Let's do this shit.
No, you're good. Sandy said, yeah, but that whole quote, nobody else wants him good out the window when it seems hot. Women want him. Good out the goes out the window when it seems hot. Women want him. Yeah. I got you.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that.
Wrinkles, you're gonna fucking hit this mic and chip my tooth. My tooth is
my teeth. Okay, question for you, Jay.
Yeah, sure. What's up, Manny?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Pertaining to relationships, can you keep secrets from your partner in a relationship and still have a healthy relationship?
I would say it's the extent of the secret,
right?
And what's it related to? Like, is it the secret that you're banging other chicks? Well, that's probably bad. But
yeah.
Is it? I don't know. Maybe you're squirreling away money for a trip that you can't let her know about, or you know, this is what should be the question: is what is a question, or what is a secret that you would keep that isn't related to like a surprise for her?
Okay. And then
So
also, I'm going to follow that up after this with: is it okay to have a secret bank account? Yeah. Okay. So let me think of a secret that you wouldn't be able to keep, or that you could keep and still have a healthy relationship.
What would qualify as a secret? Give an example of a secret that you would keep that that you think's okay, but it's not like a secret, like her birthday's coming up, so you have to keep a secret of a surprise or something.
Okay,
doesn't necessarily,
a secret that. Okay, here we go. This is a secret that you could keep. Phil had sex with her cousin. You know what I mean? Like, or something, something that maybe she was like, "Don't bring my family around. You're like your crazy friend," and then you know what I mean? Like, So that like that kind of stuff. I think that there are plenty of secrets that you can keep. I mean, you probably shouldn't. You should be as open as you can. But like, let's say it would damage your relationship, and she asked you not to like bring your crazy friend around. Either her best friend or a family member. Then if you need to keep that secret, just because that's not really your secret to share, anyways, right? And so, yeah,
Yeah, like maybe, yeah. Okay, so that using that example, Wrinkles, give me the ball so I can fucking take it from you and never
yeah.
give it
Or
back to
let's
you.
say that her friend got pregnant and it was Phil's baby, right? And then it's like, maybe she didn't want Crystal to know that shit. She's like, no, the dad was in the military and he just is never coming back, or so, just something crazy.
I give you an example. So
Yeah,
okay, so Crystal tells you don't bring Jay around, whatever, who
yeah, yeah.
her cousin, for
Right.
whatever reason, and you're
But
like,
she's
okay, I
yeah.
won't. But let's say I meet her cousin just on my own, and
Right,
I
right,
tell
right.
you, hey, I'm dating this chick, and then I start telling
Mm.
you details. You're like, oh, in your head, you're like, oh fuck, that's Crystal's cousin.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then maybe you don't say anything. You're like, you honored what you didn't introduce us.
For
We met
sure.
on our own, and maybe that's a okay secret to keep. I don't know.
I think
We'll see
so.
what the ladies
Yeah,
say.
yeah, we'll say the ladies say. Let's see. So Sandy said secrets, the beach confidential.
Breach.
Oh, breach. Sorry, breach confidentiality of someone else are likely not okay. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. So what we were saying. Yeah. So I think it all just depends. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Now, have you ever had a secret that was found out and you were like, yikes?
Oh yeah, I feel like for sure I got caught in the middle of something. You know what I mean? But I think it always pays to be honest, because then you got to keep up with your lies. Crystal doesn't have HIV. What's wild though is like so for people
all the
who
stories we've created through
yeah,
through the
seriously.
episodes, that's crazy. That's awesome. You remember, Sandy.
Yeah. So I would say so we had a guy who used to manage us, and we've dropped his name multiple times. I'm not gonna say it, but he
Wait,
always
manage
lied.
us?
Not
Oh,
manager.
he was the manager.
He was
Okay,
the
yeah.
manager of the
Yeah, he
club
didn't
we worked
fuck
at.
it. Yeah.
No. So, but he always lied about everything, right? And stuff you didn't even need to lie about.
I have a
And
girlfriend. I'm straight.
exactly, right? And so he said he would always be like just extra secretive about dumb shit. And I'll never forget, we all went to go see a movie and his girlfriend was at home, and when we came back, like one of his buddies was like, oh yeah, that was a great movie we saw. And he was like, shut the fuck up, you know what I mean? And it's like, dude, we saw a movie, who gives a shit? It's like, man, also keeping up with your lies is like a fucking problem,
Oh, dude.
So,
yeah.
and it's like, we got to remember that every time we see this person, that we can't mention that movie. And so,
dude, I remember, I think you probably had a similar with your pops, because both of our dads were hoes.
oh yeah, yeah.
But I remember, like, my dad like seeing one girl one night and then a different girl the next night, or different girls calling, and I'm like, oh, is this Mindy or whatever the chick? And he's like, he's like, I'm like, I'm fucking 10, I don't know,
dude, that was the biggest
now
thing.
I gotta lie for you.
That was the hardest thing, is trying to keep up with him on, all of his like sexcapades, man. And it's just like, we couldn't say that we were just over at some other chick's house one night, and it was crazy. My dad was such a player. He used to borrow this one girl's car to go over to another girl's house. And I was just like, what the fuck? It was just insane shit. So, but
did you ever walk in on your pops fucking?
Walked in on him getting a blowjob one time from
oh yeah, that's right.
yeah. I was like, dude, the Mariners game was so good. Oh shit, my bad. And just went in the next room. I was like,
and he's
17.
like, hold on, it's bottom of the ninth right now. He's like, nice bat, Dad.
Right, I know you did, man. This shit is crazy. And it was some younger.
I would always hear my dad fucking, because especially
right.
like when I lived with him in high school, I would just hear him banging in the room next door. But the one time I walked in and actually saw, I guess, by the way, Swing Wizzle, I think, is admitting that he had sex with his cousin. Cool. Thanks for sharing, Swing. No, but I remember I was with I won't say last names. Sylvia. It was
right.
My dad was dating this lady named Sylvia, and she had a daughter named Alicia. And me and Alicia were around the same age, and we're probably maybe 10 at the time, 10 or 12.
Right.
And and I was just an asshole kid. I knew what they were probably doing in there. I think we probably could hear.
Right.
And I made up like an excuse that I had to. I was like, "Hey, Dad, can I turn on the TV or something?" I swing open the door, and looking at me they're in doggy style position, so they're both like facing me, and I wanted to tell the story on stage, but it's so like graphic because I like in the setup of the joke, I was gonna say, like I think a lot of us have maybe walked in on our parents having sex.
Right.
I walked in on my dad fucking this chick. They weren't having sex. He was fucking her. And then like he's like yelling at me, but like it's coming out in the rhythm of them fucking. It's like, get the fuck out the room. And she's like, please get out.
Man, and then you can't ever make eye contact again with that person.
Oh, dude. And then Alicia's just in the other room crying, and I'm like, we're gonna have a brother or sister.
Just a dick.
I was an asshole.
Man, yeah, no, that's I think it's different to walk in on your dad, but if you walked in on your mom, oh god, that would just crush me. And like I'd be like, Mama, no, god damn.
Dude, I remember it's crazy. Like I'm this must be hold on, what'd Sandy say? Ooh, that's a good one though. What if the secret is a family secret and telling a person they are family would prevent family from doing the do? Oh, wait.
Okay. So like let's say for instance, so this is interesting. Silas is he knows all his parents and all his cousins, but he had a friend who was, adopted. Turned out that friend was actually his blood cousin, and he she's attractive. They didn't hook up or anything, but there was the potential if somebody didn't tell him, he could have asked her out. You know what I mean? And so, dude, that would be fucking crazy.
Fuck, what was I just saying right before I hit Sandy's thing?
Oh, you were talking about let's see. Sorry, hold on. Backtrack. We were talking about
if we saw our mom.
Yeah. If you saw your mom.
I was gonna say, I remember. I just fucking turned off the screen for a second. I am very much, I think, like my pops in how I handle arguing, or I'm not into yelling or screaming or name calling. I'm very more much like, okay, what's the problem? How do we resolve it? Very analytical. But I remember my mom and my stepdad, they were upstairs arguing. I just remember my mom saying, you stick your hand down my crotch every 6 months and expect me to be turned on by that? And then I was just like, I don't want to hear this. Dude, I was like,
oh my god. That is fucking hilarious. Jesus.
Dude, I was just like, all right. That's definitely different than my pops, because my dad be fucking.
For sure. Like that's crazy, because my dad was so much like your dad, where my sister, like, she was so worried that my dad was gonna get HIV. Like that was her big thing. Like when she was a kid, the shit the kids worry about, you know what I mean? My sister was like, I was so worried that he was gonna die. Cookie McJingles.
What up, Cookie? Thanks for stopping by and saying hello.
Shit is the funniest shit I've heard. Yeah, stick your hand once every 6 months, and you expect me to be turned on.
I was just like, all right. Rest in peace, Mom.
Yeah, shit that you just can't unhear. You know what I mean? Oh my god,
dude. And there was something else I was gonna say. Oh, we were talking about like cousins and shit. I mean, Phil, our good buddy Phil, which by the way, Phil's doing great. I saw him when I was up in Seattle. And not this last weekend, but weekend before. And he's doing great. I mentioned this, I think, on Hollings Worthless, or maybe I mentioned on this, but he's doing good. And
I got him on fucking Boo.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck, what was I gonna say? Like about my my sister texted me when we found out that the lady who kind of helped raise me, when my dad left me with that one lady, so she ended up passing away, God rest her soul. My sister was like, you think they're in heaven and dad's dicking her down right now? I was just like, fucking Leah.
Jesus.
Oh man. Fucking hilarious.
What up, San Francisco 49er girl? You came in at an interesting time. Basically stories of our parents fucking.
You'll have to go back a little bit earlier, but Jay had the funniest shit his mom's. Jesus Christ, I can't unhear that,
dude. Yeah, imagine me hearing that as a kid.
I know. Fuck,
dude. There was some. It's crazy too what you remember. Like I remember, I was probably maybe 11ish, and my mom, like my parents, my mom and my dad, I don't ever remember them being together. They were never together while for any
Right.
memory I have. But I remember, but my mom, she remarried, and I remember her when I was about 11. She was stressed about something, and her just going, "Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. You may just come home one day, and I might just be gone." I was
Jesus
like,
Christ.
what the fuck do I do with that?
Man, like I'll never forget my like my mom, because I remember like my mom used to spank me, but I was a bad kid, right?
Yeah.
And she was like, she spanked me one time. I was like, I'm gonna call the police on you. She was like, good, I'll have your shit packed and by the motherfucking door. So I'll see your ass later. And I was like, oh my God, you can do that? So,
I remember I ran away from home.
mhm.
My mom and my stepdad at one point. I don't remember where we were living at the time, but I just remember it was winter, and I didn't
Mhm.
even like pack anything. I was just like, fuck this, I'm out. And I remember I started walking, and I went somewhere where there was a bunch of mud, and like my
Mhm.
foot went in and my shoe got stuck. And so now I'm just without a shoe, and it's like fucking 20 degrees out. So it's
Jesus
like, yeah, I
Christ.
mean, maybe I'll postpone this fucking running away for a while.
Yo, like I ran away from home one time because my dad pissed me off, and I ran away on rollerblades.
That's so the visual of that.
And
Fuck this.
Yo, so I ran away on rollerblades and I went down this hill and I fucking bit it. You know what I mean? So I got shredded. And then so my dad pulls up with the car and he sees me on the ground, right? And he's like, get in the fucking car, right? And so I'm holding my rollerblades and I throw them at him and shit, right? And so he literally, my sister swears to God, he says this. He says, time me, sweet, sweet. That's what he used to call my sister. He used to call her sweet, sweet. He used to be like, time me. And he like fucking took off running after me. And I thought if I made it down to the end of the block that I could get it. Because I knew how to get home to my mom's house. And he fucking grabbed me, threw me in the back of the car, took us over to my mom's. He was like, I can't deal with this shit. Take your kids. Fucking wild. And my mom was like, you ain't gonna ruin my weekend, motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Natasha said it's the mommy issues
It really
episode.
is.
Yes. And Sandy said, no, it's actually the mommy fucking issues. Yeah, we should just we should have an episode. We just tell stories of our parents. And like,
totally.
dude, I remember, I might have told this on this, about the time, like my dad, it was like my time to step to my dad.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that lasted about 5 seconds because I was in high school. I was probably 16 at the time, 6'7", much thinner than I am now. And my dad, who was a longshoreman, played pro football, barrel chested guy. And I remember what we were arguing about. I was probably skipping school again. And hearing fucking is better than hearing nothing but yelling. Yeah. And I just remember my dad with one hand picked me up by my neck and then fucking slammed me on the bed. I was on the bed and he's basically holding me by my neck on the bed. And he told me I had he goes, you got 3 options. You're either going to do what I say. I'm going to ward your ass to the court, or we're going to go heads up right now. And I was
damn.
like, what would you like me to do, Father?
Man, yeah. Like I don't really remember ever stepping to my dad. The last time I really stepped to my dad was like before he died. Was like because he wasn't in good health, and I was like, dude,
you're like, I could take him now.
That was like I beat his fucking ass. You crippled? No, just kidding. But like, so I showed
PC though.
yeah, sorry. We just want to say here on Love in Black and White that it is never okay to make fun of those who are crippled or have any type of disability.
I think that's a bad word now.
Yeah, I think that I don't know if so
you keep
sorry.
saying the C word.
Sorry, the Crips.
Andy Able, or what do they say? Able,
yeah,
or
the body, the readily able. I don't know. I'm just in a bad place, guys. I'm sleep deprived. PC Manny is broken and clearly has some sort of virus that isn't an STD. But I will say this. So my dad, he wasn't doing good. He wouldn't go to the hospital, and my stepmom was like, hey, I need you to help me get him to the hospital. We hadn't talked in forever. I'm pissed at him because, he had moved away. Didn't think I was ever going to see him again. And I was like, at least come meet Crystal. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And then he ends up canceling on me at the last minute, right? Typical, like, dad shit where I'm just like, all right, fuck him. And I was like, I just got to be done with it. Yeah. See, Sandy, I didn't know. Can you not say cripple anymore?
Hold on. I'm going to Google. Keep talking, though. Keep telling your story.
Okay. So, anyways, I'm just like, you know what? If it means saving his life, I'm going to go do it. So I go to his house. I ring the door. What had to be fucking 20 times. He finally answers the door. And he's like, hey, nothing's wrong. And I come in straight face. I'm like, get your shit. We're going to the doctor. And he's like, no, I'm not going to the doctor. And so we are like, for the better part of an hour, I'm trying to get to the fucking doctor. And, he's just like trying to stand up to me. He's like, oh, so what? You a man now? I'm like, yeah, I will beat your ass and drag you to the fucking hospital. And so we just sat there and like, we were just like, we didn't say shit to each other, but then I fucking got him to the hospital. And afterwards, I swear to God, like he said, because the doctors actually found that it was only his like blood pressure that was really fucked up. And if he just took this medication, he would be okay. And if he stopped drinking. So he literally gave me a hug afterwards and was like, thank you for saving my life. And I was like, all right, but you got to do what you're going to fucking do. But I was ready to throw with this fool. I was like, yo, I'm going to beat your motherfucking ass. So.
Okay. Couple things we have in the note or in the chat.
Yes.
What up? First up, what up, Charmaine?
What
Thanks
up, Charmaine?
Sandy said, we can't say cripple anymore, ? San Francisco 49er girl said, my uncle is disabled. And I'm reading, people. I'm just reading the note. My uncle is disabled and calls himself retarded. I told him not to say that. And his response is, that's what I am.
And my aunt, God, I love her to death, but she is like, every time me and my cousin do something stupid, doesn't matter. Like we're in our 30s now. She's like, y'all both are so fucking retarded. And I'm like, I don't know if you could say that anymore, auntie. And so she's like,
okay, so going back to Sandy's question
Yes.
and what we were saying, Sandy said, we can't say cripple anymore because I was messing with Manny. This is from dictionary.com, Webster's Dictionary, and of course, you
Please
can't see
educate
it.
us.
I'll read it to you. Usage note for cripple. When referring to someone for whom it is difficult or impossible to walk or move without some kind of external aid like crutches or a wheelchair, sensitivity is called for. The words cripple and crippled are no longer considered appropriate. Although these terms have been in use since before the year 950, since the mid-1900s, Sandy, they have become increasingly uncommon and are now regarded as insulting. Since the late 20th century, the terms handicapped and the handicapped, once thought to be acceptable alternatives, have also become somewhat offensive. God. By who? Okay, so handicapped remains acceptable. However, in certain set phrases like handicapped parking, attempts to replace crippled with the milder euphemism term physically challenged were sidetracked by a virtual explosion of satirical limitations like economically challenged, ethically challenged, and vertically challenged. The currently acceptable term are disabled and people with disabilities. Okay, so
shout out San Francisco 49er girl. I think it's like the N word. They can say it, we can't.
Can you use the R at the beginning of it?
It's hard.
Yeah. Sandy, when you say we can't say shit anymore, imagine when I say we can't say shit anymore. And we can't say handicapped either. Send me to Mars. Yeah, for real.
Yo, so I've worked with Craig Robinson a few times, and one of my favorite sets is his Def Jam set, which is so fucked up now. And he was like, he plays piano, and he's like, yo, I just want to say, I got a what is he? He's like, I was dating this girl and her brother, he is he's disabled, whatever, at the time that was okay. And he said he wrote this song. He was like, Craig, a lot of people think we can't do a lot of things in life, but I wrote this song just to prove them wrong, right? And then all of a sudden he goes, yeah. And people start laughing, and he's like, I can see you motherfuckers aren't going to take this seriously, and just walks off. It's fucking great set.
Natasha said Tiny Tim is, quote, differently abled.
But no, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I think as a society, we do have to be a little more sensitive now towards, I mean, that's the thing. You can't, like, I don't even know if it's okay to say little people anymore. It's like,
Dude.
you could be,
You could be height challenged, vertically challenged.
Yeah, totally. You know, and maybe that's the
Disability
thing.
X.
Yeah.
The guy in the handicap, he's walking challenged.
Jay is pigmentally challenged. I
Yeah,
don't know.
exactly.
Yeah. So
Dude,
I mean,
I just this last weekend I was dude, it's crazy how the weekends. Okay, I was at Joker's in Richland, but I tell the
Okay.
story about the Raiders game and the guy in the wheelchair, and I say crippled in that thing. I was like,
so it's like now you can, and it's so wild
but
because it's like I feel like the English language is evolving so fast that it's like it's so easily like it's so easy to get canceled over something for not knowing.
dude,
You
that
know what
you
I
don't
mean?
even know.
You
You
don't
know what
even
I
know.
always thought was interesting is we don't when I say we, I mean it's society and like people that cancel people.
Yeah.
Excuse me. There's so many different terms for everything and everything is changing.
Mhm.
And if you throw something out because you have the old term, that's all you
Right.
know.
Right.
It's like people will freak out. They don't give you the
decent or the
most of the time it's not like, hey, just a heads up, we don't say that anymore. It's an
right.
immediate like, yo, what the fuck?
Dude,
You know,
crazy.
But if I'm let's say I'm from another country or I moved, maybe I don't know, English isn't my second language, and
Mhm.
and I say an incorrect term, people will be like, oh no, we say this over here, or we say this in English.
Right.
It's much more than if just the terms that are changing fucking weekly, you know?
Yeah, dude. So get this. So I'm not trying to out anybody because they didn't know, you know. And it's like when you think about it, your world becomes so small when you're isolated, and you only hang out with certain groups, right? So for the most part, my group contains a lot of interracial couples, right?
Yeah.
And so we don't think anything different. You know, everybody's just there's always a good blend of people. The thing about my in-laws, you know, they've been going to the same church for probably 20 plus years or 10, 15 years. I don't know. But, you know, they only see the same people every now and then, maybe a few black people in the church, but they're from the 50s, right? And like, you know, I remember one time I think my mother-in-law or like my father-in-law said something about, oh yeah, the nice, you know, colored family down the street, not knowing, you know, because it's like, don't get me wrong, that's just like wild. Like, how do you not know that it's, you know, now either black or African American, right? But the thing that is crazy about it is like, yo, it's I feel like to a certain extent, it's no different than me and you being like, oh, she said this, and they're like, whoa, it's them. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
always give people the like benefit of the doubt, in my opinion, because it's like, yo, if you grew up with that, think about this. We've been calling white people for however long, right? Been calling black people for so long. When this next generation, Miles' generation, comes up, it's like, whoa, we don't say white, we don't say black anymore. We just say people. You know what I mean? And you're like, well, how
Yeah.
do I fucking describe who I was just talking about? How do I tell the
Yeah.
cops? How do I tell the cops who just robbed me? It was that white motherfucker
No,
over
you'd say
there.
black. I believe that's what you would say.
Thank you, Tammy Joe.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's like yeah, like you're somewhere and I'm trying to describe you to people. I'm like, yeah, the dude, you know, the guy's like I don't know, he's like 6'1", you know, is like, no, his glasses.
Yeah.
Anything else? I mean, really tan.
You know, curly headed like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
So
Sandy wrote, anyone else feel like you should be radio silent on social media in case you want to run for office so that your
Oh.
comments aren't made into news stories? Compassion is one thing. Yeah. So, I mean, as a comic, you know, and I mean, Sandy, you're one of like our most faithful listeners on all
Yeah.
the podcasts, and you come to shows, you know, you're a good friend. And I mean, you know, I don't know. I always look at it like everything like there's jokes I say on stage that I know it's like touchy subjects, like the
Yeah.
trans joke or the trans story, I should say, whatever. Or when I went out with the little person, I mean, different shit. But I always try and put or say that I have like a backup joke or
Right.
in case I'm starting to lose people. But I also am like, I've added a thing to that trans joke now, or that trans story, Sandy, where in the story or in the joke, I say the girl's like, oh, is it because I'm trans? And I'm like, no. But in my head, I was like, yeah, pretty much, you know. And then I say after that, I go, I don't really like blondes. That doesn't mean I hate them or I fear them. They're just not my thing, you know.
Right.
You know, it's like it's so.
I mean, I think about, and And that's the thing you have to always remember is that people are always evolving. You know, it's like what you thought 10 years, 15 years, 20 years ago isn't the same thing or the same person you are today. And I think we've talked about that multiple times. But here's the interesting thing is like with my comedy, you know how raw my comedy was and how bad it was. It was like I had a Black History Month joke where the punchline was something about 9/11. You know what I mean? At the very end, that was like white people got so offended, black people loved it. You know what I mean? But then it was like I also had a joke about like a gay thug hitting on me. You know what I mean? I don't know if that would fly today. I think that it might
Jay
be.
Reed has one too that's like where it's there he's walking in the flip-flops.
Oh yeah, it's like psst, psst, psst. Oh, you cute. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, it's like some of our material that we thought was okay. You know, think about this. You look at Chappelle in the 90s. There's certain jokes that he did where I'm just like, you probably can't do that today. You know,
I look at it like I've always said that everything I say on stage, it's either something that happened to me, so it's a story I'm telling from my life, or it's something that I believe strongly in. Like if I'm trying to make a point, like my extreme sports joke. But I like Sandy said that. But Jay, but you shouldn't have to do all that, Jay. And I'm like, I mean, you know, I'm not at a level where I have to worry about getting canceled. But if something down the road, yeah, people could go back and listen to things, and I'm like, well, you know, I'm not for you. Then that's fine. Like what I tell people, or the analogy I use, I told Sean this the other day, and he was like, dude, that's fucking great. So when we do comedy, we're you know, there's maybe there's truth in it, or maybe there's it's something that happened to the person. But I'm like this. If you go to a comedy show and you're tripping off what the comedian is saying in jokes, do you go to a magic show and when the magician cuts the lady in half, do you start screaming, he just fucking murdered her, he murdered her, she's dead? Or do you wait till it's over and then accept it as like, oh, this is a trick? Well, stand up and punchlines and everything in a sense are tricks. You know, we hide the punchline, you know, for the end. And so, you know, wait for the magic trick to be done, you know, and just accept it as it's a trick, you know?
Yeah. I'm with San Francisco 49er girl. I mean, and Living Color would never have seen the light of day with a lot of the stuff that they did. You know, it was just so edgy and so, you know, you can't judge anybody really based. Well, I guess you can, but it's like, you know, Eddie Murphy, man, he was just a whole different comic. He's like a family man now. You know what I mean? He dropped the F word how many times in that, you know, as far as, you know, the AG one, you know, it's like, oh man, that's hearing it now.
And also it's like, you know, again, times are different. And, you know, can you hold somebody accountable to today's standards from something from 50 years ago?
Right.
You know?
No, I mean, you know, like we said, like I told you before, I heard that song, you know, Let's Fall in Love by Frank Sinatra. You know, the bees do it, the bees do it, even the does do it. And he said even the Japs do it because it was during World War II. And that's not okay by any means. But it's just like, holy shit. Oh, Ty Hall. Love you,
know,
Uncle
Ty,
Jason.
Manny.
Yeah. Love you, Uncle
Ty.
Jason. Get your funny on.
Oh, Ty, I miss you. I miss you and the girls. Oh, gosh. So, you make me cry, Ty. So the listeners or viewers, when you hear me talk about baby Jade or nieces and everything, it's Ty's daughters that I'm talking about. Ty. Good to see you, Ty.
We had a moment. That's so cool.
Let me see. Sandy J said, and that's my point problem. Folks want to dig up stuff just to discount you. Jokes are jokes and funny is funny. This is why I've always loved comedy, even when it's stung a bit. Yeah. I mean, that's the other thing too, is like, I think the highest art or the highest form of comedy is if a comedian is saying something that you 1000% disagree with, but he's still making you laugh.
That's a good
like
point.
You're like, this motherfucker, I don't agree with anything he's saying, but goddamn, this is funny. That's like, to me, that's like the ultimate compliment. If I'm saying something that you don't necessarily agree with, but you can't help. I mean, laughter is involuntary. It's an involuntary thing. So, you know, that's the ultimate compliment to me, is if you know, I want to go back to Charmaine said comedians have the right to do their comedy in whatever way they want. The audience also has the right to respond. Yeah, usually the response is laugh or don't. But to, you know, I mean, like, you know, if I direct a movie or I star in a movie where I play a rapist, are you
Right.
going to try and get me canceled because it's
You played
promoting
that
rape
role.
culture?
Um,
Or if you go to a horror flick and this guy is a mass murderer in the movie, are you trying to get the actor that played Jason or Freddy Krueger or whatever get canceled? I mean, it goes back to comedy's the lowest respected art form,
yeah, it's
and
crazy
it's probably
because
it's the most difficult.
it really is, and we walk such a fine line on stuff. You know what I mean? It's like I'll never forget, and I'm giving away one of my jokes here, but I told you guys I told you I had a colonoscopy, right? But it was because of like hemorrhoids, right? And so I talk about that in a joke, and then I talk about calling Jay instead of going to the doctor about it, and Jay's on like in WebMD, he's like, it sounds like you just had a fucking miscarriage, and I'm like, holy shit, you know what I mean? So it's like, and
The
I
weird thing
felt
was that after the first one, you kept going back every week.
so anyways, here's the thing.
It's fixed by erectile dysfunction. That's so weird.
So I told Jay, or I don't know if I told you this, but there was a girl who used to come to our shows who actually had a miscarriage, and I just felt awful that I was telling this joke. But she said, "You know what, Manny? It's such a great joke that you did that I laughed at it, and it was like it made me feel better about my situation." And I was like, "Wow, you know." So
Yeah, I mean, and there's so many spectrums of comedy. There's there's the woke comedy that I don't find funny, but whatever,
yeah.
go do you. I mean, that's the thing, is there's different flavors for everybody,
Mhm.
and what I find, I mean, comics, what we find funny is horrendous. Like,
Oh my god, if you
if
guys
you
knew this
saw the
stuff.
chats of comics, text messages, every comic could be canceled.
Yeah, if
You
you
know?
were in some of those car rides to the different locations, you would be like, "Oh my god, these guys are just done." To Sandy's point though, here's one of the beautiful things is my government name isn't Manny Martin, so when I apply for a job, they can't pull up all the bad shit because I'm always worried that they're going to pull up that Kevin Hart's Heart of the City, where it's like
Oh,
things I wish white people wouldn't do to me in my cubicle, and then
yeah.
fortunately, I've been okay, and so
Dude, it's so crazy that but you know what? When I first started, I changed my LinkedIn to say Jason Hollingsworth, and I
yep,
changed my email from Big Irish J to jholly@gmail.
that's smart.
Uh, just yeah, for the same thing,
Yeah.
and but I'm at a point of no return. There's no way I can fucking dude, let me show this cheating whores bit to you.
Oh my
I mean,
god.
it's I don't. In the grand scheme of things, it goes back to that old thing: sticks and stones.
Exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, is it like, you know what I mean? It's not a lot of it's not malicious. I wanted to say something. Divine Equinox actually said something up higher. She said, "Well, what about Paula Dean?" Well, Paula Dean said the N word, and that's never been acceptable, right? So that's why she got canceled. So, there's that one. But you know, you got to walk that fine line as a comedian, and hopefully, you're on the right side of history. And so,
Yeah, it's what's funny is the when I got hammered on Tahir's keep your distance thing.
yeah, yeah.
Right, dude, I blacked out. I don't remember anything after 30 minutes, and I've never watched it, but like some people had like, were you worried you were going to say? I was like, no, cuz like to me they say alcohol just makes you more of what you already are, and
Right.
I already know I'm a happy drunk or whatever, and so
Mhm.
had no fear of like, oh, am I going to say something that's I just the few parts that I saw is just me yelling a lot because I'm drunk and I'm just loud.
Right.
Um, yeah, Charmaine, great point, Charmaine. The most offensive thing a comedian can do is not be funny, and
Oh man.
I mean,
I
it's.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I saw like just a brutal bombing set. It must have been on like Instagram or something. It was this guy who was talking to a packed house. Nobody was laughing. I mean, there had to be at least 200-300 people in that, maybe even
Right.
400. It looked painful. I don't think I've been through. I mean, I've bombed before, but never where it's just people just.
I remember watching Rich Voss. I think it was
Yeah.
Rich Voss, all black room,
Mhm.
and there's one guy there, or no, it's a lady. Like he's doing okay,
Yeah.
and then this one lady like was booing or something, and he goes, Boo. He goes, you fat bitch, it should be moo. And then just
Jesus.
fucking got the whole thing. Fuck, we're
Ugh.
at an hour. We got to start
Yeah,
wrapping it up. This has been I like the it hasn't been a lot of dating and relationship shit, but it's we should maybe continue it tomorrow on the Holling's Worthless.
Yes, we'll have some good Thanksgiving stories or good family.
Oh, I think I'm
stories.
gonna we talked about oh, you mentioned your colonoscopy, and we were talking about like personal stuff. I think I'm gonna tell a story. Actually, I am gonna tell a story. If Sean hasn't put it in the notes, Sean reminded me of it about a time I was staying with Sean, and I'm not gonna even give you any hints of this story.
Okay.
You have to listen to the show tomorrow to hear the story. It's one of the funniest, most embarrassing, disgusting stories I've ever had in my life. I don't even know if you know this one, Manny, but
I probably don't.
It's brutal. What up, Matthew? Matthew Maxwell coming in at the end. Okay.
Matthew James Maxwell.
Manulus. Maxwell, I love your music. Manulus, what do you want to plug?
Whenever, wherever. Let's see. So there's still nothing going on. I'm going to be getting back into it 2022 with comedy, probably be hosting or featuring for Jay. Outside of that, just on the Hollings Worthless tomorrow, and next week catch me on Love in Black and White. I hope you guys have a good Thanksgiving, and I will tell a story about something that just recently happened to me on tomorrow's episode.
And I will plug let's see, this weekend. I'll just plug this weekend. I'm going to be at Wise Guys Comedy Club here in Las Vegas. There's only one show Friday, one show Saturday, 7:30. It's a beautiful club. I went up there and did a guest spot when Chris Porter was in town, and the new Wise Guys Club here in Vegas, it's great. It's a great club, low ceilings, the lighting, it's a really dope little venue, and excited about that this weekend. So that's all I'll plug. And until next time, Manulus,
we'll be putting the love back in your right. It's Love in Black and White.
Thanks, everybody. Love you all.